Hello, I'm Staten Island District Attorney Michael McMahon, and thank you for joining me as we commemorate International Overdose Awareness Day here on Staten Island. You know, we face a terrible public safety and public health crisis when it comes to overdoses caused by heroin, fentanyl, and other drugs that too many of our loved ones are taking and dying or coming close to death from. In fact, in the last decade, over 400,000 Americans have lost their lives to overdoses, and in the last 3 years, 350 Staten Islanders have lost their lives in the last year, 100 alone. And these are our friends, our neighbors, our loved ones, and we need to come together and to do even more to fight this terrible scourge.
My name is Joseph Conte, Executive Director of the Staten Island Performing Provider System. Overdose and addiction have claimed the lives of so many in the past decade as heroin, fentanyl, opioids, and other drugs have ravaged our communities, but there is hope. In the past 4 years, over 2,000 individuals have taken advantage of medication-assisted treatment in our community. It has quadrupled what it was in the past. Much of that has been made available by reducing stigma, by making care and providers more open to taking individuals into the services that they have in our community. It is a great bright spot in the challenges that continue to lie ahead.
I come from substance use disorder, and my story is not different from a lot of people who are suffering from this epidemic right now. I used drugs. It tore my family apart. I've tried many ways to stop using, and it was a very difficult task for me to do.
The Staten Island Performing Provider System, working with the College of Staten Island, has trained over 100 peer recovery specialists. It is one of the great opportunities for not only for individuals seeking recovery to talk to someone who has walked a mile in their shoes, but very much an opportunity for those individuals to have an opportunity to work, to have gainful employment, a career path, and these social determinants of health factors are really, truly the pathway to extended recovery.
My name is Emmanuel. I am a senior peer mentor for Community Health Action of Staten Island. And what I do is I am a peer mentor, which we respond to overdoses. We try to educate people on prevention of overdosing and try to find them safer ways as far as harm reduction to have them change the quality of their life.
We have done a lot in the last few years, and since I came into office as district attorney, I'm happy to say that these efforts, working together with our brothers and sisters in the police department, our partners in the recovery and care communities, the PPS, other elected officials, we start to see some downturn in the overdoses that we're facing. This year alone, we've seen a decrease in close to 30%, but the numbers are still way too high, and we've got a lot of work to do.
Overdose is a big, serious issue around the area right now, and we are working hand in hand with the DA to try to change the numbers and the statistics of people dying every day from this terrible situation.
One of the important components of our pathway to recovery is making sure that providers in our community are alert to the fact that much of addiction does not start with recreational drug use. In fact, more than 70% of individuals who go on to be addicted to both prescribed and illicit drugs start with legal prescriptions related to pain and other conditions that they have. Safe prescribing is everyone's obligation.
Narcan has saved hundreds of lives, and I believe that if you get yourself a Narcan kit or allow your family members to have one in their household somewhere, that'll save many, many more. This is an overdose reversal, and it is very important to save a life. So if you can find anybody in the city of Staten Island, go to any of our links. Like I said before, StatenIslandHope.org. You can find us, because it is very important to give a person that amount of time for the ambulance to arrive so that you can save their life.
I want to be very clear. If someone is arrested and charged for selling drugs for profit on Staten Island, they will be charged to the full extent of the law. We will charge them with the top count plea, and we will not accept anything less. In fact, in Staten Island, we got the first conviction for death by dealer. That is a conviction for manslaughter against a drug dealer who sold fentanyl knowingly to an individual and caused his death. And we will continue to prosecute these cases to the full extent of the law. But at the same time, if you suffer from addiction illness, I need you to come forward and come speak to my office or many of the providers in Staten Island, and we will get you the care that you need. People who are arrested for possession only are getting diversion, are getting into treatment. And we're seeing the numbers soar of people who are getting treatment and finding a better life. Again, thank you for joining us and watching this video as we commemorate International Overdose Awareness Day here on Staten Island. A lot of work has been done, as you can see, to fight this scourge that afflicts so many of our loved ones here in our beloved borough. But at the same time, much more needs to be done. Please join us in this battle. Go to our website, sihope.org, to see how you can connect with many of the efforts that are going on in this borough, and certainly if you need help with addiction illness, you can find it right there. Again, thank you for joining us. A lot of work needs to be done, but we will be victorious.